Good morning, everyone. Bonjour, bonsoir, hello. مرحبا. I'm just testing this live podcast to see if the background music is going to interfere with the copyrights. But I'm going to have a look at this podcast in a few seconds. So it's going to be a very, very quick, short one to say I'm going live to continue the discussion from my previous podcast and the impact that it's had on social media in terms of big names actually mentioning me and issuing all sorts of threats. Probably not direct to me, maybe so. Doesn't really matter because I don't give a toss. And there's bullies out there that come in every form who have an addiction. And that addiction comes in the form of ego. It's a very, very dangerous world going on social media and populating yourself and verbalizing yourself without knowing the legal implications, the broadcasting rules of communications, and without those boundaries known, you throw yourself into a dangerous world of the internet, the cyber world. These restrictions that they have can be leveraged in accordance of who you are. If you have blue eyes, if you're white, if you're not white, if you're Arab, like me, a British Lebanese Arab. What have I done here? Nearly 4 minutes, 3 minutes 50 seconds. I just want to see if the interference in the background is gonna stop me from being able to talk. But I do believe there's a filtering system that this phone's got and YouTube that will edit out the background. I may have to go home and turn that on so that I can or adjust it so it can work. Nevertheless, I'm going to continue for now, but I'm absolutely starving. So I want to get something down me. Let's see if I can stick you down here. Do you like this chair I bought? It looks like a Queen Soldier chair. Great, isn't it? Yeah, I'm a proud British Lebanese Arab. And it seems like George Galloway has made his acknowledgement of seeing my YouTube that came out, probably one of the first YouTubes that came out in criticism of the paid tweets that YouTubers and Twitter account holders can generate. I was looking up how much it would cost if you have a 500,000 Twitter followers, how much it would cost or ex-followers to send out a tweet request from someone who was to advertise, and they were showing things like it's starting from like £2,500 or $2,500, and it just goes to show that I put it to you out there in the world of mind programming, and let's face it, NLP or neuro-linguistical practitioner skills are a standard requirement when it comes to people who are leaders. Be you a leader in a company that you work for, a director, or you sit on a board of directors, and in that field of employ. But you can also have this NLP training if you're a politician or a councillor or a presenter or a speaker, and these people who empower themselves with these skills that are very, very easily obtainable also understand the implications of NLP and what it does to you as in the audience, the viewer, the listener. Sometimes you can also use NLP to dangerously send out information to mind program the public, and you could be arrested for it. And there are so many people out there that have applied this mind programming technique, skill, and abused the rules of the legal side of it. And it could come in all sorts of different forms. Usually when I see it on social media, it should be called out. There should be, if I was to ever have a podcast of my own, and it would be an absolutely rare thing for us Arabs these days, especially the way that such an influential person in the Arab world as Mr. George Galloway of the leadership of the quote Workers' Party, for him to be throwing out these not only start to be sectarian in the way that he comes across by throwing an attack on a race, because we are, and there will be many jealous, powerful powers that be out there that will be jealous to understand and comprehend and get it into their heads that we are a race. Yeah, us Arabs are a race. We always have been. Yeah, and it's needless to say that unfortunately the Jewish side of the what they're trying to do is get as many Jewish people into Israel. And what they can't do is call themselves a race. They are not a race. It is a religion. It has its own now. But going back to mind programming, I see a couple of things that I noted off of George Galloway's response to my podcast. Quite frankly, I don't give a toss if people don't believe it, but to my podcast in specific, he made a couple of a few synonymous terminologies that could put that show me that he's watching my fucking podcast. Basically, that there's no two ways about it. Him and his wife and so on. A couple of points that he made. What were they? Shutting down the Arab world, saying, "Oh yeah, that that if you back the Arabs, you'll be dead. Yeah. So here's another second form of mind programming, a threat, a warning being sent out, trying to say, hey, you, if you start to back Arabs, then you will be dead. He used the word dead. Yeah. And he did give examples, and my understanding of what he was doing in a further attack on Arabs. It's such a crucial. I mean, you could say it at all sorts of different times in the world, but it's such a crucial part of the time where the whole of the Middle East is firing up and spreading like a disease. And to do it at that time there is as if he's been paid to do that. Yeah? And I put it to you, he's either been subjected to it or he's been paid to do that. And that's the way I see it from that aspect of his further criticising, continuation of he was declaring that clearly it had a reaction in the Arab world, not just from me, from many others, but the fact that I have the lingo that he has, yeah, and the fact that I talk because I'm here in England and I'm not representing anyone from any capacity other than my own self, and I don't have any motive or any affiliation to any political parties, movements, or any of that rubbish. Yeah, they don't like it because they are limited to what they can say. Yeah, they are limited to what they can do as well, and as are journalists. Whereas I'm not. So I am. I don't doubt that I'm going to get targeted and attacked, and I don't have as thick skin as they do, and I'm very glad that I don't have as thick skin they do. When I say that, you understand me here. I am a sensitive person. I have feelings as well. But what I don't do is abuse the laws that can criminalise you for hurting someone's feelings. I don't give a fucking toss if your feelings are hurt. If you have a problem with controlling your feelings and your emotions on how you see the life or the issue, the matter, whatever it is that you are hurt by, yeah. I don't understand that mind control of thought process that they're trying to control us with, yeah. If you're hurt, yeah, go and see a fucking doctor. Talking of reaching out when I comment, and I could see that it's hit a few different subjects that I've made comments of that have caused an impact on social media, certainly on the accounts that I'm subscribing to, and have caused I've rocked the boat. Yeah? So I'm coming from a Twitter account, a podcast that I'm giving out sports tips here. After noticing the real pandemic, which is the gambling pandemic. And I'm also giving out tips to the public, and I know it's a very popular segment in the viewing of I've just been clocked by someone, yeah, and too much information, and the gambling sector is open wide market, and I know I reach out to a big market before you lot want to come over and start watching my fucking podcasts. Yeah, I do use profanity that you lot call profanity, yeah, and is recognised in courts as profanity, but to us Cockney-speaking Londoners, yeah, and when I say us, I also speak for Jewish people. Yeah. Why do I speak for Jewish people? Let's face it, Cockney is a Jewish thing, isn't it? It's an old Jewish thing here in London, isn't it? You know what I mean? You know what I mean bit is the what was it, the Caribbean side of it, Harry. But yeah, I talk Cockney, and I consider it and deem it as my culture. I grew up with the white boys, yeah. So I'm not a racist man, yeah. The white boys made me. The white boys who are fucking part of the masonry, right, made me their godfather. So don't come and tell me well, I am hated by many, but it doesn't bother me. But don't tell me that I haven't integrated, or that I'm just using what you want to deem as offensive and abusive. You're attacking my culture. Yeah, I grew up like this. Yeah, we were talking like this in the playgrounds when we were watching the young ones. Yeah, and Only Fools and Horses. Yeah. You can't change me. If I'm standing up in court with all these new laws that are coming in now, yeah, you can't reprogram me. Yeah? I've already been educated by you, your authorities, your government, my government. Yeah, I've already programmed that way. I was educated in the highly sectarian Islington, innit? It is a highly sick. Even MP Emily Thornberry the other day, what was it she was saying? She used the word sectarian, yeah. But she kind of like, as if like admitted that it is a sectarian. Well, we should be accepted, as if we should be accepting that we've become a sectarian. As if like it's okay, it's normal, bro. It's not okay. It's not okay. I wouldn't be here if it was sectarian. I wouldn't be here on social media right now. Yeah, I wouldn't be fucking here right now, yeah, exposing my presidential case if we're not in a sectarian world. I wouldn't be contacting the Lebanese embassy, telling them, look what happened to me. Yeah, I was put incommunicado, yeah, off of a fucking tweet that didn't breach Twitter, before X came into effect, yeah, before the terminology, the new today's terminology came into effect. But I put incommunicado and sent to a fucking mental health hospital. Yeah, a British, Lebanese, outspoken, professional, former Hewlett Packard employee. They hate me saying that. I have to reverbalise it because they don't know my career, my background, what I used to do, and how I used to earn my money. They don't know that. People who see my podcast these days, they don't know that I've been a workaholic all my life. Yeah. And for me to contact the Lebanese embassy here in London, and for me to be given an open invitation by the ambassador's office to come in, to sit down. Why? Because I got a phone call off of the president of Lebanon. Do you understand that? Yeah? Do you fucking understand that? Yeah? And I use profanity for all sorts of reasons. Big factor is that I don't want to be a fucking, what do I call it, celebrity. I don't want to be a person of a public speaking person. I don't want that. I don't want none of that. I never came here to get into that field, yeah. So I have to nip it in the bud where I see fit, because I've reached a level where even, you know, when you get a billionaire, send these fucking journalists, these paparazzi, into the coffee shop that you're in here in London, right, and he's been monitoring you for fucking several days, yeah? When you get a president start to follow your Twitter account, right, before he's ever verified, and he's only got a few followers, 67 odd followers, clocked by another bird. Yeah. You got to ask yourself, what's going on? So this is a big warning out to my sisters again, you stupid fools. A big warning out, yeah. Since you don't want to be contacted because you're too fucking guilty, I'm debunking you here live in front of. Now let me scare you with the stats that I'll be getting. Yeah. keep your mouth shut. You don't know me, who I am today. Most of you three sisters, in fact all of you, haven't seen me for absolutely decades. Yeah, with the exception of 1, 2 or 3 times in the past. You don't know who I am today. All you know is what you see here, because you're cowards, because I've debunked you with the sources that I've got, just by observing and forwarding articles and talking, and raising awareness of doing what a lawyer told me to do. What well, I was going to say a woman, but what I actually meant to say was a woman who specialises in a specific field of invisible illnesses. Mental health. Tells me, Sam, I quote you, Sam, I urge you to inform the public of your findings. My immediate thoughts were, because I'm a man of requiring clarity, yeah? I want to ask you questions, yeah? You can't tell me some fucking one-liner without me want to cut it down and break it, so I understand where you're coming from, because otherwise I won't be in a position to judge you, to have all the information that I need, yeah, before I answer you and respond to you, because that would just be making me some stupid circumstantial person like what we see these days. Be put in positions, make baseless decisions. A bit like lawyers. I wouldn't be here right now if there are lawyers who are reliable and not so fucking sectarian, or have been imposed on us, yeah, by the controlled mechanism of your LIBOR, what's it called again? What's that network that's for the bar and the police and the bar and the lawyers? Common platform and the LIBOR platform. Those datas that they enter and the lawyers. If lawyers were reliable, I wouldn't be here giving it what's been going on to me, telling the public what my lawyer told me to tell the public. Yeah? So ببلشوا يتحركوا شو فيني معلش. Yeah, I'm new to all this, you know. I've been out off the scene of dating for a while, to consume what's going on around me, to evolve. You see, they knew all of this. They knew I was a voice, who's a British Lebanese voice here in London, and they knew that they already had a history of my tweeting since 2007-8 onwards, and so therefore all their algorithms have captured everything that I've said and have put it into a format. And I already debunked algorithms in a couple of tweets. If you look down below that Gork analysis thing, you click on it and then it shows you what that person is saying in that tweet. And I read I tried it for the first time a couple of days ago. So I did it here, but this is my format of thinking at the moment. I try to encapsulate everything in a short amount of time. And that Gork algorithm had captured a tweet that I put through, and it captured the anti-Semitism side of what I was saying on a tweet. So therefore, where I have been reporting anti-Semitism on me, yeah, they accused it, they flipped it the other way. See, these are, and then I responded to it, and I said that I'm a former Hewlett-Packard employee with over 27 years in the IT sector, and I can confirm that it is an algorithm. It is a human that programs an algorithm. It is not no one else, nothing else. Yeah, it is a human being that programs an algorithm, and for that dangerous algorithm to have concluded a tweet that I made as anti-Semitic. It just shows you the dangers that the forces all over the world now, not just in England's police force, and the social media heads. Talking of social media heads, the former head of the Israeli social fucking media was following my Twitter account, yeah, at one point, yeah. So all these things I'm bringing up in the past, so you can understand that I am already been known for fucking decades who I am, yeah. I've already been a, quote, influencer of Lebanon, unquote, yeah, with reference to Dr. Rayel, who probably won't or will admit that that's who he's referring to when I unfollow these Twitter accounts. But these algorithms, it shows that they're so fucking dangerous that you can imagine how they would use that algorithm. Say, for example, I was walking the streets, yeah, and I have, I don't know, this, yeah, it's my battery thing, my Volt, my battery charge. Say I had that, yeah, and say, because now they've got me algorithmed into the mental health system, because they don't like it when I tell the police, after they arrest me and put me incommunicado off of the tweet, coming back to what I was saying, off of the tweet that was completely didn't breach Twitter terms or X or whoever it is. Yeah. And for me to be detained for it and sent to a mental health prison for the first time in my life because a British MP called Emily Thornberry calls the police, a Jewish MP, yeah, calls the police about an Arab, a fucking Arab, a Muslim, a Sunni, yeah, right? I have to clarify, yeah, and you all know that I have that background of being outspoken about the cult, yeah. Everything that anyone ever wants to know about me has been answered in tweets. So the police have that data on format of all the questions that they need to ask. I don't need to be called in for anything. I'm probably one of the most known in Islington, known anti-cult person in Islington. Yeah, Arab, British Lebanese Arab. Yeah. So everything that you ever want to know about me, a book has already been written if you were to capture that information and put it into a book format. But it will be based on algorithms. What if those algorithms, they're not updated with information? For example, outdated information. Like when I was detained in a mental health prison for no reason. The charge was called harassment. How can I be harassing someone on a Twitter, yeah, throwing a tweet to them, yeah, a counsellor, yeah, counsellor in my constituency. Why am I contacting her? Because I phoned her. Why did I phone her? Because I got an issue with my outstanding housing matters that needed to be dealt with. That's what their fucking job is to do, yeah. Not to be a sectarian cunts. And because they see I've got a fucking Arab name, not to want to help me, yeah. And why am I contacting her? Because Boris Johnson, I met him, who lived close to my fucking house, yeah. And he shook my hand and wished me a happy birthday and he wished me Merry Christmas. I was come back home from the food bank. He lived up the road from me, where I fucking lived since 1973, 74 here in Islam. He told me to contact them. And when I contact them, yeah, they don't get back on the phone like you do, you know, us humans who use pen and paper, follow process and procedure, who are professional in the capacity which they elevated in and reached the level of working for the upper echelons of the IT sector, of the banking sector, of the stockbrokers and the financial advisors and the logistics sector, yeah? Working with people, working with the top best tech companies to work for in the world, repeatedly winning awards, awards of best company to work for, best trainers, best, repeatedly Forbes magazine. So when you reach that level, right, you get broken down by a new law where in 2012 power has been handed down from government to local constituencies, MPs in that local constituency. Where I am here, for example, Jeremy Corbyn runs the north side of Islington, and MP Emily Thornberry runs the south side of Islington. So where power used to be handed over in April 2012, this information happened, to politicians, where power used to be dealt with by government with experience, it is taken away now and those powers are handed over to local MPs. And if your fucking MP is a Jew who's a cult lover, pro-Israel, yeah, and you're a fucking Arab, you're screwed, mate. If you live in Islington, you are fucked, yeah, because they're going to apply their sectarianism and they're going to apply their powers to get you arrested off of a fucking phone call, yeah, off of a fucking phone call that was, quote, harassment, that was subsequently dropped because it couldn't have been possible that I would have been harassing someone, sending them a tweet to contact me about outstanding housing matters, yeah, and being instructed to do so by Boris Johnson. How can I be harassing someone if the person who told me to contact was actually Boris Johnson? You mug, you fucking idiot police, you idiot CID. No, because you're sectarian. Because you look at me, you look at my fucking surname and it's Arab. Oh yeah, we'll have him, let's send him to a mental health hospital. Why? There's several reasons why. Yeah? When I got to the mental health hospital, first time in my life, I was on hunger strike, obviously. I've been in a police cell for 4 days. Yeah? Police cell for 4 fucking days. Just for a tweet. Went straight away on hunger strike from day one. And then when you get sent to the mental health hospital, you meet it's a private mental health hospital. All the way other side of London they want to send me. Not to the NHS hospital, no. Why? Why is that? Why the fuck is that? Yeah, I've been a workaholic all my life. I've run contracts, I've run businesses, I've tendered for contracts. Yeah, I'm a fucking pro, I'm a touch typer. I could work faster than all the fucking psychiatrists and consultant psychiatrists that I was confronted with. I was debunking them and their professions and asking them questions, yeah? To the extent that their mental health nurses were telling me, Sam, you're a political victim. Why are nurses who specialise in the field of mental health telling me you're a fucking political victim? Not using that word, fuck it. Eh? Why are they doing that? Eh? What the fuck is going on? So the psychiatrist tells me, Sam, the police have decided to detain you in this way because of the recent death of MP Joe Cox, and they wanted just to take precautions. So they detain me while I'm on hunger strike, yeah, because of some fucking PSYOP, Black Op, NLP, false flag. I don't give a toss what you want to deem the Joe Cox murder. Right? I don't give a toss what you want to deem it. Yeah. My sources think it was a PSYOP. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck happened. Was she defending Palestine and they shot her? The powers that be. Who knows? Who knows? I'm speculating there. But when you put my name down on a fucking mental health hospital and detain me and put me in a high category mental health prison. And then when I get there to your prison, well, I've been a professional working career all my life, never have been subjected to mental health. Yeah? Don't start telling me, yeah, among all what you've seen on my Twitter here and my podcast rather, and all that you've heard, yeah, don't start telling me, yeah, this ain't sectarian, yeah, this ain't a hate crime by abuse of enforcement by a British MP, Emily Thornberry. You're listening, Jeremy Corbyn, you're the one I complain to, you don't fuck all about it. You as leader at the time, MP Emily Thornberry was pulling your strings, weren't she? You was the Pinocchio, yeah, you was the Pinocchio, and she was your Geppetto pulling your fucking strings. And then she stabbed you in the back, didn't she, you know, so to speak. Yeah? Now you understand. But, so I get detained because they want to be, or so there's Dr. Alcock, consultant psychiatrist, yeah, Dr. Alcock tells me that I was detained as a precaution because of Joe Cox's case. Right? So what did I do to be detained? Send a tweet? It just don't make sense. It just don't register. So that was one analysis. Now, what was the other reason why they said that they wanted to detain me under the Mental Health Act? Because they put me incommunicado. You know, no contact with lawyer. You know what that means? No contact with lawyer, no contact with MP, no contact with anyone. Yeah, I'm entitled to have my embassy informed. My embassy, yeah, be it the fucking Lebanese demented black bribe cunts of the Lebanese embassy here in London. Yeah, you know who you are. Or any other embassy, you've got protocols that you are bounded by, United Nations and all the other organisations that are affiliated to forming an embassy, or what constitutes an embassy and the terminologies of an embassy and the guides and what they are bounded by. You have to abide by them. Just because you're the fucking bent, corrupt Lebanese embassy doesn't mean you can continue bending your rules here. Yeah, don't think that you, once we walk into your fucking embassy, that we're on Lebanese territory. Yeah, you're in fucking British territory here, embassy. Yeah, old Bill could come down and stick a fucking bullet in you at any time they like. Yeah, when you walk out of that embassy, or they could come into your embassy. Yeah, and you're bound by terms and regulations of the UN and all the rest of it. Yeah. So you want to bend the rules on me, a British Lebanese? Yeah, I'm going to expose your arse. They wouldn't even do the decency of confirm to me, the embassy, Ambassador Rami Mortada, I'm addressing you here, confirming to me on an email or in paper that whether the police had contacted the embassy when I was detained, and on 17 days hunger strike. I was doing 17 days hunger strike. Who the fuck has done that out there, listening to this right now? How many of you could say you've done that? There's no one on the fucking internet right now listening to me live. I'm showing, what, 23 followers? I know there's far more than that. Yeah, only a couple of days ago when I went on, there was over 1,400 people live as I was talking. And a few days ago there was several hundred. How many of you have done that? Water, coffee, that's all I was taking. Water, coffee. Let me show you my teeth, my wisdom tooth. I've got four teeth, right? 3 of them that broke while I was in prison, high category mental health prison. They broke. I have to tell you one thing. I was taking paracetamol to cope with the fucking torture, and they wouldn't send me to a dentist. I was taking paracetamol as well. So water, coffee, paracetamol. And they will contact my family. Even when I was in a high category mental health prison, yeah? What, for sending a fucking tweet? They didn't even abuse Twitter rules. Hello? Are you fucking sectarian or what? Yeah, the other reason I was allegedly, they said that I'm not normal, yeah, was when I said to them, yeah, I want a fucking lawyer. I want my family to be contacted. I want to speak to my mum. I want to speak to my dad. I want to speak to the Lebanese embassy. I want my embassy to be fucking informed that you've detained me. And while you're at it, yeah, make sure that they know I'm the one that the president follows, the president of Lebanon, the 12th president, the chief in command of Lebanon, the head of the Lebanese army, the commander of the Lebanese army, Michel Sleiman. I'm the one that he's the one that phoned me off of Adel Mashmoushi, and I recorded the fucking phone call, yeah, so no one could call me crazy, yeah, because if you don't record these days, if you don't record your phone calls, if you don't record what's going on in your life, yeah, when government contact you or affiliated government officials or bodies contact you, yeah, no one's gonna fucking believe it. I told them that. When I told them that, CID didn't like that, did they? Oh, this Lebanese man has just said that he got a phone call of the president. So what? So fucking what? I got a phone call off the president's office. Yeah, his name was at the time Colonel Adel Mashmoushi, now General Adel Mashmoushi of the Lebanese Internal Security Forces. Yeah, the head number one in Babda Palace. Got a phone call off of him. You know what Babda Palace means? It's the palace of the president's office in Lebanon. So they didn't like that, did they? They didn't like that. It's great, isn't it? I've got the right in between my legs. Didn't like that, did they? Me saying I got a phone call off of the president because I recorded it, innit? But now you try to get a lawyer to try to get you out of that mental health system. Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's kicking off between some psychiatrist and the other. Well, basically, it was just one psychiatrist that I was sent to, consultant psychiatrist. Yeah, the first time. In the high category prison, mental health hospital that I was sent to. He's the only one that disputed the rest of them. The rest of them were NHS, yeah? The rest of them says there's something wrong with me, right? And he says there is. And he's sitting down looking at my tweets. And he's analysing my tweets about Palestine. He's saying, oh, you're right, this is not normal. He's not normal. This is a consultant fucking psychiatrist, Dr. Alcock. Wank, doctor. Don't send him to your children. Make sure he doesn't deal with you. Yeah? I'm updating the public. I'm blessing the public about this. He abused his enforcement powers even the second time when I was trying to get notes on my release notes from the hospital. For years I was asking, when I was detained in 2016. For years after that, I was asking for release notes of my hunger strike, me being detained, and he was refusing. Following process, and he was refusing. Trying to get lawyers to do it, and no one was doing it. Why? Because there's been a block on me, on this psyop, on this black op that was done on me. Yeah, because I'm a fucking Arab. Because I'm a fucking Arab. Because I'm a fucking Muslim. So these consultant psychiatrists are saying, no, there's nothing wrong with Sam's tweets about Palestine. It is a world international dispute, and therefore he can say that. Yeah. So now you know what I mean about read my Common Purpose podcast. Yeah. Now you know that I have come across common purpose trained medical professionals, doctors, legal professionals, legals, yeah, solicitors, lawyers, barristers, judges, in the police force, constables, PCs, civil servants, yeah, the admin side of it, common purpose trained, judges. Yep, you better fucking believe it. I can debunk a common purpose trained person, no problem. Yeah. Because, but luckily, I will say this. Yeah, there are some people in the medical profession that are genuine people, like Dr. Ormstein, yeah, who sent a reply to Dr. Alcock, telling him that it's perfectly alright. Yeah, Dr. Ormstein, you know what I mean? Ormstein, I don't know, it sounds Jewish to me, but a fucking Jew. If it is a Jew, so what, good, even better, yeah? That a fucking Jew is criticising English cunt. Yeah, I'll use profanity, I'll go fucking toss, because it's sectarian, and me, I have to expose, yeah? A white man, yeah, Dr. Alcock, a white man, keep him away from your fucking children. Yeah, he's a dangerous man. Dangerous man. So Dr. Ormstein tells Dr. Alcock it is perfectly okay to talk about Palestine and the way that Sam was in his tweets. Because they were analysing my tweets and they're saying there's something wrong with you with your tweet. Fuck off. Fuck off. I could say what I like about Palestine. You don't like it because I'm a fucking Lebanese in a Jewish fucking stronghold, Israeli controlled, Islington. This is a fucking Jewish stronghold, mate. Top 10 highest Jewish communities in England. And I've been living here since 1973, since I was 4 years old. I'm 55. So when the consultant psychiatrist who I allow to talk to me, because I don't talk to anyone, I was dissing all the psychiatrists, tell them fuck off, mind your own business. I weren't communicating them. I said bring me consultant psychiatrists. I want consultant psychiatrists. I'll give you my name, I'll tell you my basic stuff, I'll tell you basic things, but if you want to fucking talk to me, yeah, analyse me, while I'm fucking on hunger strike, 17 days hunger strike, you want to analyse me? While I'm on 17 days hunger strike? Who the fuck are you to be trying to debunk someone's mind, yeah, while they're on 17-day hunger strike? A professional who doesn't even know why the fuck I was detained. Well, I didn't even breach any terms or any legalities. Yeah. So the consultant psychiatrist comes to my house after I finished my hunger strike, and I was laying flat, horizontal, for 6 months after my hunger strike. 6 months laying flat. If I cough, my head explodes. If I talk, if I try to laugh, my head explodes. Do you know what I mean by head explodes? It's called when you cough, it's called it's like an explosion in your head. Your brain hurts so much, your whole fucking inside your head. It's a terminology to, I forget what the word is. Is it secondary coughing? I don't know what it is, I can't remember. There's a terminology to it, right? For 6 months laying flat, I can't move, I can't walk properly, yeah? I can't eat without being sick, repetitively being sick. So the Dr. Ormstein comes to my house and I tell him, Come to my house. I want to show you something. So he comes to my house, sits down next to me on my sofa, and I pull out my Twitter account and I show him the direct message off of President Michel Sleiman sent to me, and he sees it. Let me just reiterate, he, the consultant psychiatrist, Dr. Ormstein, sees the direct message. Did you hear that, President Michel Sleiman? He sees that DM you fucking sent me. Yeah? And you know what I swear, you know what I mean, yeah? You don't start getting into all that. You know what I mean? I'll talk to you straight up here. I don't withhold when I'm talking to you, President, because you has followed me for a fucking long time and you done nothing. You done fuck all about it. You done fuck all about it. If you was a proper president, yeah, you Maronite, if you was a proper president, you would have contacted the British forces here in England, yeah, you would have contacted CID and you would have told them release him, but you never, yeah, because you're a fucking Maronite, yeah, and I'm a Sunni, yeah, but Dr. Ormstein did see your direct message, yeah, when he see that, he was shocked, yeah, never in their fucking life has a bunch of psychiatrists and consultant psychiatrists being confronted with someone who's received a phone call from President Michel Sleiman. Never in their fucking life have they ever detained someone in their entire life who claimed that they received a phone call from a president and they thought that was crazy. And here I was debunking every psychiatrist in the actual hospital. Yeah? They all earned money off of me, all of them, all the people in the mental health. Some of them were good, some of them were alright, they understood, yeah? But the majority of the quality of the staff in there are wank. I debunked them. I started asking psychiatrists specific questions. Where did you get your training? Where did you qualify? Which country was it you qualified in? What qualifications did you get? When you ask them these kind of fucking questions, yeah, you want to know who the fuck these people are who's trying to debunk you while you're on hunger strike, 17 days, yeah? You want to know who these people are. Are they really who they say they are? Because I've even had people come into the mental health hospital and declare that they were temporary workers. And then they were letting on that they were, they knew Boris Johnson and they were part of their constituency over in Uxbridge, coming into the hospital. They're little spies trying to come into the hospital, trying to ask me questions, trying to debunk me. I haven't told you lot half the fucking shit I was put through. No. You can't debunk someone if you're a trained professional psychiatrist of the old qualifications, yeah, before they started fucking relaxing all the professions, let alone the medical profession, yeah, and that's what they've been doing. They're pushing the goalpost out to professions, qualifications. So they don't like it when you start to debunk them. But when let me come back to Dr. Ormstein, when he came over at my house and he saw the direct message, and the direct messages, I got more than one message, yeah, messages that I've got off of the President Michel Sleiman. I'm very upset with, yeah, he should know better, yeah, but he see them, and then he realised that I've been detained unlawfully. He wrote a letter back to Dr. Alcott, told him what he thought. And he told him that Sam is not suffering from any psychotic episode. Yeah? And then after that, a whole set of doctors and consultant psychiatrists came to my house, all sitting there, psychiatrists, consultant psychiatrists, and one cunt who was supposed to be an independent observer, who I didn't want I didn't want anyone allegedly independent observer, or just someone who was like training or who was introduced as some fucking cunt, yeah, some Jewish cunt, quite frankly, because I could tell a fucking Jew by looking at them, yeah, and a Jew could tell an Arab by looking at us, yeah, yeah. You don't need to tell me, yeah. Let alone the times that I didn't want certain people involved when I was being looked into, and then they forced them to come in. So clearly there was some people, rogue elements, that were controlling what was going on while I was being detained. Yeah. So the psychiatrists come to my house and made apologies. Made apologies to me. Sorry, Sam. We shouldn't have detained you. It was wrong, and so on. Now, what I need is a lawyer to debunk that. Okay? Bring me accountability. I need a lawyer to debunk the old, outdated information that the other cunt calls himself a doctor. You know, the one that was involved in a sale. I googled him, and I could see. I pulled out a case, and straight away the case that was pulled out, that he went out to a scene, and it was on the news in some local paper or whatever. Straight away the case I knew from my sources has been some kind of false flag, fake news issue. So this guy is clearly a chosen one for certain things that happen that involve his profession, or that they want to put into his hands and get them to deal with. So they apologise. But I want that debunked by a lawyer. Can you find a lawyer to do it? But in the meantime, it's very damaging because my character has been assassinated. They've wrongly diagnosed me. Right until now, I haven't been seen by a qualified Section 12 psychiatrist who has performed whatever they should perform on me. I haven't seen that happen because I know what they're supposed to do. I've been forced to, investigate, to study what the fuck is going on. So that is what I'm calling out for. That is why I'm saying to you, like I said in my last podcast, that I need some assistance here. I'm a British Lebanese expat. I'm raising awareness of what's happening. And I strongly believe that this isn't just good for my nuptials of our motherland, who come from not only Lebanon, but across the whole fucking region. But this is good for you to know because somewhere along the line, you're going to hear about this, that it's been done to other people. By the way, it has been done to other people, and UK Column News as an example of it, of them detaining a lady because she walked into a hospital with a smartphone in the pandemic, and it was completely empty, and she was showing that she was exposing, and so the police detained her, and they tried to accuse her of being crazy, and but she's a professional, right? She was blonde with blue eyes, and her husband, like these newlywed, they seem newlywed couple, was subjected to police coming up to him and telling him, look, yeah, well, your wife's fucking crazy. Yeah, she was caught doing this in a hospital, and they didn't fucking like it, so then he turned it under a Mental Health Act. But UK Column, yeah, like good for her, that they decided to expose her case. But UK Column also know about my case as well. Yeah. They're not the only people who know about my case. Yeah. My quote presidential case, unquote. Sean Atwood wanted to interview me, had me up on his website as one of the people were asking him to interview. Yeah. There's others. BBC tried so many times, at least 3 times that I can remember, and possibly another 2 times. Nah, more, several times. And I've quoted those times, and I've even shown emails and evidence of what I'm talking about. But why would I want to let BBC fucking interview me? Fuck off. Who the fuck are you? Yeah, you Zionist entity in London. You're a fucking Israeli embassy here. You're another Israeli embassy here, the BBC. That's what you are. Yeah? And there's another Israeli embassy here in England. Yeah, it's called Westminster Court. Yeah. That's where they punish all the Arabs and bring over the transported punishments, normalisation of targeting us Arabs, like George Galloway has. They cancel us. If you talk about Arabs, you're dead. Fuck off. Fuck off, you old man. You ain't got much to live anyway. Yeah, they're gonna kill you off, I reckon, the way I see it. That's the way the way I see it. Somehow soon, that's it. That's the way I see it. And I predict things, you know. I predict things. And they don't like it when I predict things. Because a lot of the time it turns out right. Talking of predicting, everybody in the mental health hospital that I was subjected to while I was on hunger strike were being told to back Trump. Back Trump. Not this time out, last time out. And I was telling everybody like years before he was going to become president. Yeah, check my podcast. Check my fucking podcast. If you look up the word British Lebanese, one word, that was suspended, that account. But I was exposing it all, and I was back with the mental health hospital. I was telling back. They thought I was fucking crazy. Back Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump to be president. Yeah, they did. Believe you and I, they did. And they all come out for that person who was on under. They all know who I am. Everyone I was confronted to by the mental health system, by the medical professional, the doctors. I am a exclusive case. Yeah, I am an exclusive case. Why? Because they never, ever experienced someone doing a 17-day fucking hunger strike. In their lives, in their careers, in their professional careers, be them a doctor, be them a police officer, be them CID, be them a judge, be them a fucking MP. They never experienced that in their life. In their demented fucking life. So this is it, we get targeted, us Arabs. It's right about us, we get targeted, yeah, I'll give them that. But not much more than that. Go around, want to cancel us. He's fucking chewed us and spat us out like Rover did with Mini. The Germans, they brought it all out, spat out all the others, and kept the Mini. So he's had his chewing gum that was feeding him, and there was no more fucking sugar in it. So he spat it out, like he spat out the Arabs, the whole fucking Arab race. And he doesn't like it because I criticise him and I could talk freely and openly. He doesn't like it. George, yeah, you're a loser. And the reason why you're a loser, amongst many reasons, yeah, we go around, yeah, picking Muslim locations in England, yeah, knowing that because you're defending Islam in certain parts, yeah, the wall of Muslims are going to back you. You fucking living off of the blood of us Arabs and us Muslims. And you're telling me that you are, I shocked the world with the fucking, what was it? The stats of the votes. Yeah. That's what happens, yeah? But there's more people like you now, Mr. Galloway, yeah? And they come in the form of Frankists. And if you don't know what Frankists is, it's those who go into a religion, say, yeah, I'm part of a religion now. I'm going to be a Muslim, yeah? Because there's a lot of fucking money now with all this bloodbath of genocidal killing Arabs and Muslims all over. Yeah, there's money in it. So when you tweet, you send out a tweet, yeah, criticising the Arabs, you make fucking several £1,000s off of it, and then you go collect your whoever you are, you go collect your brown envelope off of the Israeli embassy. Yeah, and then you send another tweet the following fucking day, yeah, to program it into the minds of the public, yeah. And then you say, yeah, if you back Arabs, yeah, you're dead, yeah. Well, I'm fucking alive. And there'll be many like me, even if I die tomorrow, there'll be many like me who'll be continuing that, yeah? And while we're on the subject of trying to cancel, you know, I'm not here, I don't wear the Fonz jacket, yeah? I'm not someone who supports this or that, yeah? Because you grow up, yeah? And there's no longer idiot or useful idiot or mug on my fucking head, yeah? Because I exposed you, yeah? Why is George Galloway, yeah? Why is George Galloway's former MP, yeah, threaten me, yeah? Why she fucking send me DMs threatening me, threatening to fight me, threatening to want to meet me, yeah? Her name is Yvonne Ridley, yeah? Why is Yvonne Ridley cussing down Bashar al-Assad and Colonel Gaddafi, yeah? Why she, her potent, poisonous tweets about Assad and Gaddafi and all the others that even George Galloway was slagging down. He denounced George Galloway denounced Colonel Gaddafi. He denounced Assad. He was cussing them. They were cussing them. Look at him. Look at what happened to Gaddafi. They done a competition test on him to Amnesty International. Do you remember when they done a competition saying who's the best leader in the world? Yeah, leader of all leaders. Yeah, and Muammar Gaddafi was right up there. He was in the lead, and they were like voting systems. This is during the time they were allegedly calling it, what was it, the spring revolution. All of a sudden, Gaddafi was hitting the top. And then what did Amnesty do? Before the competition ended, they stopped the fucking competition. They stopped it because they knew that Gaddafi was in the lead. So Yvonne Ridley, who is backed by the Gulf, what the fuck is she doing in George Galloway's party, the other political party that he had? What the fuck was she doing in there? Why is George Galloway endorsing a Zionist backing cunt? Who threatened me in DMs? She threatened me in fucking DMs. Do you understand that? Threatened me. Oh, come and meet me. She said, I'll fucking teach you. And all this swearing at me, wanted to fucking fight me. This is a woman we're talking about, a fucking woman. Yvonne Ridley, a former fucking MP. Yeah? You want to debunk George Galloway? I've got stories that I know about George Galloway that are not fucking fake. They're all real, mate. I think the sun is shining out of George Galloway's arse. Something to tell you, hey, yeah. I don't give a toss if you're the Musharrafs or the double agents and all that fucking shit. Yeah, it could be your double agent, yeah. But when we come out, us Arabs come out and criticise you, you don't fucking like it, yeah. You don't fucking like it, do you? You don't like it. قل يا أيها الكافرون بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Mr. George Galloway. لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. صدق الله العظيم. Who are you, George? Your history. Yeah, stick to your conversations now. Yeah, cover your little fucking NATO. Yeah, we're gonna disappear soon anyway. There ain't gonna be much NATO anymore. Jordan's gonna be taken over by a revolution. Yeah, the king. We're gonna see the king's head roll. He's gonna evacuate, just like Bashar al-Assad was forced to. And those of you out there, right, I mean, like I said to you, I don't wear the fucking Fonz jacket. Those of you out there who think in your demented fuckeries, judgmental minds, yeah, who think that because a bunch of people have been killed in Lebanon, assassinated, yeah, if, just because you think a bunch of people have been assassinated, yeah, you think that the resistance has disappeared? Are you fucking stupid to fall for the shit that they've psyched you into believing? Just because of a bunch of people, you could count them on your hands, yeah? Even if you was a caterpillar, you could count them on your legs. Just because they killed a few people, you think that the resistance is gone? The resistance is transported across the whole fucking world. Yeah? Yeah? We've got a resistance here in London. It's called the City of London. We've got a resistance, us, the British, or should I say the English, I don't know how you want to translate that. We've got a resistance here in the form of the City of London. It is an armed organisation. It has its own forces. It has its own guns. It has its own military apparatus. It has its own intelligence. Yeah? And you can't fucking take money out of that country and tax them like they should be. Yeah, you can't tax the City of London. All the money that goes in and out of the City of London goes out to one entity, an external force. King of England can't even go into the City of London without permission of the fucking mayor of the City of London. You want to talk about a resistance? There's a resistance in England here. Yeah? What's your definition of a resistance? A resistance is not Hezbollah, yeah? A resistance is a word. It's resisting. Yeah, it's not a political party, it's not a how can I say, it's not a movement, it's not a organization. The word resistance means resisting. To resist from putting sugar in your coffee, like the Arabs do when they stick 5, 6, 7, 8 sugars in their coffee. To resist from adding stuff that makes you fat, like my MP. And shame on my MP for portraying an image, like I'm talking to my public here, my audience, portraying an image that she could be a fat person, yeah? Just think how selfish that is to your family and your children when you want to be a fat person, yeah? And take away several years off your fucking life. And deprive your children from seeing you longer because you took a decision because you wanted to be unhealthy. If you're a fat person, like some people say, I'm a fat person, but isn't that, you know, people don't think. Yeah, you want to be a politician, in my point of view, you have to be setting an example. Yeah. To the world, yeah, you don't have a job fucking description, whichever politician you want to be, yeah, and it is my belief that all politicians now should be paying attention to us Arabs, our race. You should be paying respect to us Arabs, yeah, you who call yourself chosen ones. Let's face it, most of the politicians that are in power, be it in this country, England, or any other country, yeah, come from the religion of the Jews, yeah? Well, they're Ashkenazi Jews, different segments of Jews. But then you have the Christian side of it, the sympathizers of the Christian side of Jews, like you have in Lebanon, for example, now. It is a very, very touchy, sensitive subject. When you say your one-liners, and then you get YouTubers who come on and want to capture those one particular segments, and they want to cut and micromanage you and pick out a wording and then try to smear you for it. You know, I don't know. I'm fascinated by these YouTubers who develop a illness of an ego boosted illness that they will talk on YouTube, right? Like for example, I'm talking to you here, like live to you, coming out of Israel, live directly. But if you confront them in real life where there isn't a camera, yeah, their demographics of their thought process completely change. Especially if there's only if there is no camera, no evidence of voice of sound being captured. Their persona, their character, their view, their perception of anything when they're giving view or commenting on changes totally. Because when you're on the internet, you're obligated into thought processes of terminology which now, dangerously, they are trying to implement across the world, not just on YouTube platforms. And that's dangerous. So what we're going to get? Hovering drones over us, UAVs and that. So when you say the word Jew, they're going to be coming over and sticking their people across wherever you're at, yeah? And then they'll be trying to condition you or send for example, a detective to call you and threaten you, saying, yeah, we'd like to arrange, I want to see you like they're doing to me now. Because you probably said some things in there like, Yvette Cooper's a fucking racist cunt or whatever, or you criticise the mayor of London, yeah, like that, what's that, Indian Dave, what's his name, Indian Dave Khan, the mayor of London. You don't like it when I'm exposing him to Twitter accounts I'm debunking, don't like it, so he sends his enforcements, yeah, and targets us Semites, Arab Semites. I come from the birthplace of Semitism. It's called Tyre in Lebanon. That is the birthplace of Semites. You want to talk to me about being anti-fucking Semite? My ex-girlfriend was a Jewish lawyer for 5.5 years. I was dating her. Who the fuck are you to call me anti-Semite? Who the fuck are you to call me hater? Yeah? I'm an Arab, a proud Arab, British Lebanese. Yeah, and everybody out there, if you feel you've been targeted and attacked by George Galloway's attacking Arabs, which opens into a different, complete sectarian war and enticing sectarianism, you want to be careful, You want to be careful of these people here. You want to be careful of these Muhammad hijabs and these Smile to Jannah and these Ali Dahwas. Check the Ali Dahwa YouTube I've debunked. Yeah, I had several thousand people live on my audience, yeah, debunking him, yeah, when he was going around sticking a table in Leicester Square, saying that, and on the table, yeah, there's some books about Islam and leaflets and all that, as if he's fucking opening a newsagent's fucking shop in the middle of the street, trying to sell a product called Islam, the new Islam that they're trying to promote. So I go there, I confront him. And while I'm there, I confront a whole bunch of Royal Marines in Soho Square. So check that one out, a very interesting one. What it is debunking these new people who are coming on. By the way, yeah, be careful of these new dangerous people who are using religion to bring forth their geopolitics. Be careful of these. One of the there's certain very powerful things that are happening right now that are global, making the world globalized, and one of them comes in the form of these people who are preaching religion. Yeah, very, very dangerous for these people who are preaching religion. You've got to be careful who they are and what their motives are, what their backgrounds are, small words that come out in the subliminal terminologies they speak of. You know, you got to really be careful. They're very dangerous. Be wary of them. Don't. Um, I mean, I've been you know, I falled for some of these in the past, but you have to understand that their agenda is not a clean one, and you know, so much of it out there, so much of it. You've got to be careful. Just check and see what's going on. Yeah, a lot of rats observing. What have I done? 1 hour 22 minutes. So this YouTube will be brought down in the shadow banning because there's music in the background. When I get home, I have to filter out that music as if it hasn't done it already for me. What else do I need to update the public with? All right. I'm going to do a podcast today for my Lebanese Tips audience because I think you deserve it. I'm going to do some debunking and using the same techniques as these people are using. I'm going to use some NLP, Black Ops, PSYOP to debunk some sports tips today, mainly in the form of horse racing. So stay tuned for the next podcast that will come through. I'm absolutely starving. I want to go and get myself some breakfast. What else? I need a lawyer for criminal. I need a lawyer for civil liberties. I need a lawyer for claims, personal claims. And I need a lawyer to cover housing matters, outstanding repair housing matters. And I'm giving this warning out to people who are from the Arab world, yeah. Don't be afraid of what George Galloway is saying, yeah. George Galloway won't be here for much longer. There are many people out there who won't tolerate his nonsense. I've given you just a few examples of this old man. What else? I'm very disappointed about how Lebanon has been subjected to the way it's been subjected. It's disappointing in some of the flaws that have happened within the majority of Lebanon. The majority of Lebanon who are seen as those who don't want to be controlled by outside forces. My honest opinion is I don't think that you could just cancel a resistance, whichever resistance it may come from, whichever country it may come from, if there's an ideology. And they're trying to dirty the word ideology, I think. They're trying to abuse the word and warp it and twist it, as they do in the Lost in Translations words that they're throwing out there these days, which include laws, which they're trying to warp and twist and misreport on. I believe that the resistance is not something that you can. It is not a any resistance I'm talking about here, which does include Lebanon. It is not a human life. It doesn't have a heart, yeah, the resistance. It doesn't have blood going through its veins, yeah, which we all do, we humans do. So when you kill a resistance by suggesting that a few penetrating bombs can resolve the matter, you must be fucked up in your head to think that that's the case. You must be well screwed up. Yeah, you need a proper defragmentation of your mind to think that killing a leadership, a bunch of people, yeah, who are in leadership, who have positions in roles, yeah, in roles, be it business, where you have the day-to-day runnings of the facilitating of that business. Yeah, if it's a food stall, for example, you need to buy the food. You need someone who could go get the food and deliver the food. You need someone who could cook the food and present the food. And you need someone who could sell the food on the retail side of it. And then you need other people who are on the marketing side of it, and other people who are at different positions that also form a whole unity of background, of a mechanism, a process where you put, and as long as those processes and mechanisms are functioning, and like if you are doing business, as I wanted to do in the food business, the Lebanese falafel business that I wanted to do, you have to have your plan Bs and your plan Cs and plan Ds. So if Tom, Dick or Harry can't come to work because his dog's cat has got a headache, right, then you got plan Bs that you call and so on. And so to suggest that Hezbollah in Lebanon, let alone any fucking organisation, you can kill it off by just killing a few people, you must be fucked up in the head to think that you can kill a resistance off just by killing a few heads. You think that killing, for example, let's flip it over the other coin here. Let's say if Israel's leaders were assassinated, killed off. Yeah, let's say that happened. I mean, do you think that the invasion is going to stop? The invasion, the occupation of the conquer and divide. Do you think that's going to stop? No, it's not. It's not. It's not going to stop, is it? So you understand where I'm coming from. You can't kill a internationally recognised declaration of wanting to be against war. Yeah. There will be resistances that will be forming across other sectors of the world that have their own ideologies. Yeah, I think that's what the lesson is when you subject people to a genocidal, so when you subject a race to a genocidal act, and it will just multiply. You'll have loads of what they call them again. Frankensteins. You create a lot of Frankensteins. Yeah? The dangerous days coming ahead. There are real dangerous days coming ahead, and governments are now forcing you to do things which they never used to do, subjecting you to mind control of what to say and what not to say. It is really extraordinary. It's sad days ahead, really. I would like to be a generation that lived in this new generation now, what's happening to us. It is really something that I feel sorry for our youths of tomorrow. You should have all been informed, يا لبنان. لازم خبروكم. أنا ماني مبسوط بكيف الجورناليست عم يتمنيكوا هلا، لأنه الجورناليست عم يتمنيكوا وعم يبلشوا يغيروا رأيهم. Yeah? You're going to see journalists now who are changing their minds and their approach. Look at Kevok. Check my tweets about Kevok. Just yesterday he come out and said that he's not an Arab. So almost as if to trigger off that double reaction of George Galloway, yeah. So Kevok comes out saying, well, we knew Kevok from Syrian analysis is not an Arab, he's Armenian. Yeah? We know that Syrian girl is not Syrian, she's Assyrian. What? So when they want to go and segment themselves into oh, I'm not an Arab, and I'm not a Muslim, and I'm not this, and by the way, I believe like federalism is alright. Yeah, the word federalism is a fucking Zionist word. The word transitioning is a Zionist word. It's a colonizing word. It's an invader and occupier word. It's a cult terminology. It's words that they want to program your minds with. So you're going to start seeing journalists who come out and criticize. Even Sheikh Imran Hussein the other day was quick to criticize Bashar al-Assad's legacy. Yeah, you're talking about a legacy that's been there for decades, that's seen presidents and prime ministers come and go. So you're talking about, forget about Bashar al-Assad, think about the fact that we're talking about the presidency of a country where it has seen different leaders come and go. When you become a government where you have seen so many different countries come and go, yeah, you have to think to yourself, they have gained more knowledge than most other governments have. Yeah, not all of them, no, but in how to govern. So you are experiencing a experienced government, yeah, that has considered roots and clout in Syria, and still does. We even know right now, if you think that the president of Syria has gone and is finished, it isn't. The case isn't. There are people there that are doing regrouping and recalling themselves differently. I mean, look at Libya. I see a lot of what happened in Libya. What I didn't subject myself to is to see all the devastating violent scenes in Syria, in Lebanon, in Palestine. I didn't subject myself to see any of that. So I'm glad that I didn't. I done that deliberately. I see some of it on Libya. I see quite a lot of it on Libya in them days. But to see that happen to, I had a big fascination in what was happening with Libya because I knew, like all the other dual national politicians in Lebanon, knew that from 1987 Lebanon had oil and gas. Yeah, well, I kept it from the people. Yeah, I knew that when I used to go holiday in Syria, and by the way, I was captured by a Syrian government once when I was out on holiday on a checkpoint. I was only 9 years old. I had my Hawiyah on me, and my Hawiyah, my ID, was a picture of what was on it was when I was about 4 years old, and I was about 9, 10. I can't remember I don't know what it was. It was that around that age, and I was just stopped by a checkpoint and taken to one of their AUT, American University in Tripoli. Yeah, it was shut down, but it was taken over by the Syrian government then. And I was taken up there, and I got a couple of punches from, slaps rather, from when I got in there. Why? Because I didn't have my ID on me. Well, I was on holiday out there, you know what I mean? We don't use a hobby here in London. And when I went out there, it was in the middle of getting changed. And so, but I wasn't going to let that keep me in the house. I went out. I was in the cab and I got stopped by a checkpoint. I got taken away and I went missing for the whole best part of a day until they decided to take me to where we were staying and get me to bring my passport to show to the generals that were in that camp that was overtaken by the Syrian army in Lebanon, where I was. So I've experienced a lot of this, this kind of enforcements that they were putting out there. But I'm not gonna shut down a legacy. And let's face it, yeah, Bashar al-Assad was invited by the Queen of England for dinner, yeah. So you lot were going around cussing Bashar al-Assad, yeah. Think about that. What does that mean? Clearly, there's a relationship between the two, isn't there? Clearly, there's some kind of clearly there's some kind of communication between the two. There's a, governments, they negotiate with each other, don't they? Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. As to how he fell, I don't believe most of the stuff that is out there right now. We won't hear it, and there'll be a lot of shit thrown out there. I'll just sit back and listen to what they're all saying. But you have a lot of journalists now who have different mind about what's going on, and then they start exposing things that Bashar al-Assad was doing, or the resistance in Lebanon were doing, and they'll be spinning off people's thought process into a confused stupor of not knowing what the fuck is going on. But this war is going to expand, not just in Lebanon. Shame on those journalists who knew for the last 15, 20 years what was going to happen in Lebanon. Shame on you. We knew for, gosh, not as long as you guys knew, but you guys knew what was going on, but none of you went out and told the public. None of you went out and told Lebanon, or told Syria, or told Aleppo, yeah, or told Damascus, so that they could act on this information. Except you're seeing them now being slaughtered. You're seeing them being slaughtered, aren't you? Killed off because of your lack of journalistic reporting, because of your being segmented into those who are gatekeepers. Gatekeepers. You know what a gatekeeper is? It's like a fucking sheep. When you open the gate, yeah, all the sheep come through. Yeah, you're letting them have access to certain fields of information, in that case grass, so they could go and graze on the grass. Yeah? You're gatekeepers. You're falling into the paid Pinocchios of a leading Geppetto of Rupert Murdoch's propaganda machines and alikes. Yeah, you're throwing yourself into something that should never be described as journalistic. There's nothing that could describe journalistic better than what Robert Fisk once did. And he said that the journalists are a form of historians. They are historians. Yeah. What did George Galloway do the other day? He tried to elevate. He tried to elevate. Is that so? George Galloway tried to elevate. What's his name again? Craig Murray. Craig Murray. You elevated Craig Murray towards the end of your show as someone like who's targeted by police. Well, as far as I'm concerned, Craig Murray, as well as even Richard Medhurst, yeah, as well as other people there like Sarah Wilkinson, other big names out there that call themselves podcasters and revealing that they've been like victims of police. Bollocks, you are part of a fucking PSYOP, Black Op, NLP that have been used. Yeah, you're government agents or agent hangouts, yeah? Yeah, so you've been used like the Julian Assange cases to bring in new laws into what's going on, yeah, and they're using you as examples, yeah. You lot are there in a controlled and organised act between police forces across the country, in their social media heads of police enforcements and intelligences, yeah. You're part of all that, so that they can push out their programming of minds when they come out across with, oh, you can't do this because if you back the fucking Arabs, you're dead, yeah? When they bring out words like that, yeah, you know that's coming to benefit who? Who benefits from that, eh? Who fucking benefits from saying, yeah, stop fucking defending the Arabs? Think about it. You want to talk to me about, I ain't got nothing personal with George Galloway. Yeah, I just think he's a cunt. Yeah? And I'm entitled to think that. Yeah. What is it? He even threatened with some of us he's going to have to chase up. He's never heard of us, never fucking heard of us, yeah? Oh, bollocks, never heard of us. Yeah, your wife calls me about 8, 9 times in 6, 7 weeks or whatever, yeah? You tell me you never heard of us. Fuck off. I'm the first fucking British Lebanese Twitter account that got the British Lebanese Twitter account even before the Lebanese embassy here in fucking London. They couldn't think of that. They couldn't fathom that. Yeah, that's how quick I was on that app. Yeah, and he doesn't like it when Arabs who are speaking his lingo criticise him. Don't like it. Don't give a toss, mate. You're nobody. You're finished. You're history. Yeah. Take that hat off. Take that hat off. Take that Jewish hat off. But on that note, I have a surprise for my Lebanese Tips audience later. Stay tuned, because this is instant money from the debunker of the gambling sector, who I will remind, yeah, OLBG is supposed to be the world's #1 sports tip provider. Yeah, so you pay them, they give you tips. When their champions start to fucking follow me, when they start to follow me, yeah, and I'm rocking the boat in the horse racing industry, let alone the sports sector of any other side, yeah, then you've got to let the public know. So I help the pandemic by how? By raising awareness of the world's refugee crisis. And in doing so, I entice a little generosity there for you, a two-way street where you earn a bit of money and donate to a charity of your choice. So you do your own little bit of vibrant work between you, put in some money between you and pledge to donate to a charity of your liking. Use my tips to better them. So if you've got a Christmas party going and you want a few tips to stimulate the central nervous systems of your little party goers, your work employees, contact me. I'll give you a few tips and I'll give you a little podcast that you can share with your little session that you're having. And on that note, I bid you a good day. Another podcast coming. Peace.